guys, welcome to my channel. It's been a long time. Today we are going to deal with the topic bronchial asthma. Bronchial asthma is a global problem with an estimated of around 300 million individuals affected. In this video we are going to have three parts. The first part being the explanation part, the second part being the quick revision part, and the third part being the most interesting part, that is the MCQs part. So let's just dive into the subject. Bronchial asthma is an inflammatory airway disease with episodic occurrence of dyspnea with wheezing, where dyspnea means subjective sensation of difficulty in breathing and wheezing implies that there might be some airway obstruction. In bronchial asthma, there is increased responsiveness of the tracheobronchial tree to stimuli, which results in spasmodic narrowing of the air passages. In this picture, you can see the affected individual and the normal individual's air pathways. It occurs at all ages, but 50% of cases develop before the age of 10 years. In adults, both sexes are affected equally, but in children, there is 2:1 male-female ratio. Pathophysiology. The narrowing of airway in asthma is due to inflammation of the lining mucosa and contraction of the bronchial smooth muscles. Basically, the narrowing occurs due to inflammation and contraction. There is thick tenacious secretions which increase resistance to airflow. There is increased secretions as well. Smooth muscle hyperplasia, where hyperplasia is increase in the number of cells. The muscles cells increase in number. Goblet cell and mucous gland hypertrophy. Hypertrophy is increase in size and basement membrane thickening. In this picture, you can see the difference between the air passages in the normal asthmatic airway and during the attack. The muscles are relaxed in normal individuals and there is thickening during the attack and the inflammations you can. As we have known the definition pathophysiology of the bronchial asthma, now what is the cause of all this? So we come to the etiology part. Based on stimuli initiating bronchial asthma, it is divided into extrinsic, which is allergic or atopic, intrinsic, which is idiosyncratic or non-atopic, and mixed, which does not fit either category. Extrinsic asthma. It is the most common type of asthma. There can be family history, usually preceding with allergic diseases. It is seen in early childhood. Hypersensitive to allergens is seen. Increased IgE in serum and skin test is usually positive. Intrinsic asthma. It occurs in adult life. Usually there is no family history and serum IgI is normal and skin test is negative. The pathological changes are similar in all types of asthmas. Microscopically, the mucus plugs contain normal or degenerated respiratory epithelium forming twist strips called the Kirschmann spiral, and the sputum usually contains eosinophil and diamond-shaped crystals which are derived from eosinophil called Charcot-Sladen crystals. Next, signs and symptoms. Signs and symptoms are nothing but the language of the disease. Cardinal symptoms of asthma are breathing difficulty, wheezing accompanied by cough and expectoration. These are episodic with patient being relatively symptom-free in between the attacks, seasonal or without any pattern. Diurnal variation, worst time being night and early morning. There are frequency and severity varies. In asymptomatic or mildly symptomatic, there may be no signs, only tachypnea or occasional rhonchi. In acute exacerbation, audible wheezing with inability to complete sentence, central cyanosis and extensive rhonchi occurs. Rhonchi investigation. Lung function test. Spirometry is used in the assessment of the severity of the airway obstruction. Spirometry is used to calculate the residual lung volume. Forced expiratory volume to the ratio of forced vital capacity. If it is below 70%, then that implies that there might be airway obstruction. Mini peak flow meters are used at home to assess peak expiratory flow rate. Radiology. Usually it is normal. In acute exacerbation, hyperinflation can be seen. It helps to reveal complications. Pulse oximetry and arterial blood gases or ABG. It is useful to detect hypoxemia. Saturation oxygen, if it is below 90%, then ABG is indicated. Allergen testing. A positive response suggests that the allergy may be responsible for the symptoms, but results should be correlated with history. Other investigations include the static lung volumes, diffusion capacity, and esophageal pH monitoring to exclude GERD. Diagnosis. History is the cornerstone for diagnosis of asthma. Intermittent dyspnea with wheezing and demonstration of airway obstruction supports clinical diagnosis. Differential diagnosis: anaphylaxis, upper airway obstruction, pneumonia, bronchitis, there may be foreign body obstruction are some of the differential diagnosis of the asthma. Categories of asthma. Mild intermittent means every 2 weeks there might be attacks. Mild persistent means 3 to 6 weeks there is continuous symptoms. Moderate persistent means there is daily attacks. Severe persistent means there is continuous activity limitation. After completing the first part of the video, let's just do a quick revision. Bronchial asthma is an inflammatory airway disease with episodic occurrence of dyspnea with wheezing. So basically, bronchial asthma is inflammatory, spasmodic, and narrowing is due to contraction. Etiology is 3 parts: extrinsic, which is atopic or allergic; intrinsic, which is non-atopic or idiosyncratic; and mixed. Morphology: you can see the Koshman spirals and the charoid-laden crystals in the sputum. Symptoms are dyspnea, wheezing, expectoration, and rhonchi. After the explanation part and the revision part, now it's time for the MCQ part. I hope you get all the questions right. Serum IgE levels are increased in intrinsic bronchial asthma, extrinsic bronchial asthma, predominant chronic bronchitis, or predominant emphysema. The answer is extrinsic bronchial asthma. Which type of asthma occurs in late adult life? A. Atopic asthma, intrinsic bronchial asthma, mixed, or allergic asthma? It's the intrinsic bronchial asthma. B. What is the value that is measured by spirometry? A. Residual volume, total lung capacity, functional residual capacity of the force, expiratory volume. It's A. Residual volume. It was a great time learning. We have come to the end of the video. Make sure you like, share and subscribe my video. Have a great time.